Today we're tackling the Chauffeur License Louisiana practice test to help you ace your exam on the first try. What is the combined gross vehicle weight rating GVWR limit that a Class D license must be under? Less than 26,001 pounds vehicles with a GVWR of 26,001 pounds or more typically require a commercial driver's license or CDL. Next question, what type of license is needed for any single vehicle used in commerce with a GVWR of 10,001 pounds or more? Class D Chauffeur, a Class D license, is specifically for operating vehicles used in commerce that are over the Class E limit but under the CDL limit. Let's see what's next. For Class D drivers involved in interstate commerce, what federal standard must also be met? Department of Transportation DOT physical standards. The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Regulations require drivers involved in interstate commerce to pass a DOT physical examination. Okay, on to the next one. If a Class D driver is transporting passengers for hire, which license classes must the vehicle not fall under? Classes A, B, or C. If the vehicle falls into Class A, B, or C classifications, you would need a CDL for those classes, not just a Class D moving forward. If you fail the road skills driving test, what is generally issued so you can practice? A learner's permit. A permit allows you to legally continue practicing your driving skills under supervision before you retest. Next question, what is the base fee for a 4-year Class D license for a driver under 70 in Orleans Parish, excluding service fees? 36 license fees can vary based on your parish of residence and age. All right, here's the next one. If you are 70 years or older, what is the base fee for a 4-year Class D license, excluding service fees? 14.75 Louisiana offers a reduced license fee for senior citizens who are 70 years of age and older. Let's check the next question. What must all applicants for a Louisiana driver's license pass at the OMV office? A vision exam. You must demonstrate that your eyesight meets the minimum standards necessary for safe driving. Next up, how long is a non-resident permitted to drive in Louisiana with a valid out-of-state license? 90 days. After 90 days, a non-resident establishing residency in Louisiana must apply for a state license. Let's see what's next. What is the maximum acceptable distance for your low-beam headlights to see clearly ahead? 150 to 200 feet. Low beams are designed for shorter range visibility, which is why you must slow down when using them at night. Okay, on to the next one. What is the approximate safe speed when using your high beam headlights? About 65 miles per hour, high beams should allow you to see about 350 to 400 feet ahead, giving you enough stopping distance at about 65 miles per hour. Moving forward, what Louisiana law requires drivers to use low beam headlights when the windshield wipers are required? Wipers on headlights. On law, this law enhances visibility for your own vehicle and makes it easier for other drivers to see you in bad weather. Next question. What is the purpose of the Louisiana Move It, Move It, Move It, Steer It Clear campaign? To remove vehicles from the roadway to the nearest soft shoulder after an accident. This initiative aims to clear minor accident scenes quickly to prevent traffic congestion and secondary crashes. All right, here's the next one. What 3 actions must a driver take before leaving an unattended vehicle? Stopping motor, locking ignition/removing key, and setting brake. These steps prevent the vehicle from moving unintentionally and deter theft. Let's check the next question. What is the primary cause of traffic collisions among teenage drivers ages 16 to 19? Driver inexperience and driver immaturity. Lack of time behind the wheel and risk-taking behavior are major factors in crashes for this age group. Next up, how many hours of classroom instruction are required for a Stage 1 learner's permit applicant? 30 hours. Louisiana requires a minimum of 30 hours of classroom instruction as part of the driver education requirement. Let's see what's next. What is the minimum passing accuracy required on the road skills driving test for an intermediate license? 80%. A score of 80% or higher is required to demonstrate sufficient competency on the road test. Okay, on to the next one. What is the earliest age a person can apply for a full unrestricted driver's license in Louisiana? 17 years old. Louisiana's graduated driver's license system allows for an unrestricted license at the age of 17. Moving forward, what is the minimum number of hours of nighttime driving that must be included in the 50 hours of supervised experience for an intermediate license? 15 hours. Significant experience driving at night is required due to the increased risks and reduced visibility. Next question. What is the minimum age a sibling must be to supervise a learner's permit holder? At least 18 years of age. Any supervising adult or licensed sibling must be at least 18 years old. All right, here's the next one. What is the total stopping distance for a vehicle with air brakes made up of? Perception plus reaction, brake lag, plus effective braking distance. This formula includes the 4 main components that contribute to the total distance it takes for a vehicle with air brakes to stop. Let's check the next question. What is one risk associated with air brakes being wet in freezing temperatures? Brake failure or sticking when parked. Water in the brake drums can freeze, causing the brakes to fail or lock up the wheels. Next up, what should you do to maintain control during controlled braking with air brakes? Do not turn the steering wheel while braking. Braking and turning simultaneously can cause a skid, so you should turn after the braking is complete. Let's see what's next. Which braking technique involves pressing the pedal as hard as you can, releasing when wheels lock, and reapplying fully when wheels roll? Stab braking. Stab braking is a technique used to stop quickly with air brakes when the vehicle lacks ABS. Okay, on to the next one. What is the added distance required for air brake lag at 55 miles per hour on dry pavement for an average driver? About 32 feet. The time it takes for air to flow through the lines adds a crucial distance to your total stopping time. Moving forward, if you are not in possession of your out-of-state picture license, what must you submit to get a Louisiana license? A letter of clearance or an official driving record from your last state of license. The clearance letter or driving record proves you have a valid driving history and surrendered your previous license. Next question. What is the primary cause of motor vehicle crashes in Louisiana according to the Department of Public Safety? Careless and/or reckless operation. The majority of crashes are a result of drivers not following traffic laws or operating their vehicles safely. All right, here's the next one. What is the penalty for a conviction of vehicular homicide in Louisiana? Not less than 5 years or more than 30 years imprisonment. Vehicular homicide is a serious felony offense in Louisiana with a mandatory minimum sentence. Let's check the next question. What are double solid white lines separating two lanes of traffic going in the same direction generally used on interstates? These lines are often used on multi-lane, high-speed roadways like interstates to indicate a hazardous area where lane changes are discouraged. Next up, what do single solid white lines on the roadway indicate about lane movement? Movement from lane to lane is hazardous. A solid white line warns the driver that a lane change is discouraged and potentially dangerous. Let's see what's next. What does a wider single solid white line indicate? The greater the hazard in changing lanes, the thickness of the line is often used to emphasize the hazard and discourage lane changes even more strongly. Okay, on to the next one. What should you do when driving in Louisiana with a valid out-of-state license? Surrender the out-of-state picture license upon application for a Louisiana license. When getting a new license in Louisiana, you must give up your previous state's license. Moving forward, what is a document that can be used as a secondary document for identification? Local utility statements showing name and address. Utility bills are often accepted as proof of residency and for secondary identification purposes. Next question. What is the process required to change your name on your driver's license? Present a certified copy of a state-approved marriage license or court order. A certified legal document is necessary to officially verify a name change on a government ID. All right, here's the next one. What must a minor applicant for a duplicate license have with them at the OMV office? A custodial or domiciliary parent, tutor, or legal guardian with ID minors. Require a parent or legal guardian to be present for many OMV transactions. Let's check the next question. How far ahead should a driver signal their intent before making a turn according to Louisiana law? At least 100 feet. Signaling 100 feet in advance gives other drivers enough time to react safely to your turn. Next up, what is the first step when preparing to make a right turn? Prepare for the turn well in advance. Planning ahead is crucial for safe turning, which includes checking traffic, signaling, and reducing speed. Let's see what's next. What is the maximum fine for a conviction of vehicular homicide in Louisiana? $15,000. The maximum fine, in addition to imprisonment, serves as a punitive measure for this serious felony offense. Okay, on to the next one. If you are involved in a crash, you must display your license to whom? Any person involved in the accident. You are legally required to exchange information, including your license details, with other parties involved in the crash. Moving forward, when driving at night, what should you do to your following distance when driving on unfamiliar roadways? Increase it by at least 2 additional seconds. At night, reduced visibility demands a greater following distance to give you more time to react. Next question. What is the main safety advantage of steering right toward the shoulder to avoid a head-on collision? Avoiding a head-on impact, which is typically more severe. Moving right often allows for a glancing blow or a side swipe, which is less lethal than a direct head-on collision. Check the next question. What is one of the top 5 leading causes of motor vehicle crashes in Louisiana? Failure to yield. Not properly yielding the right-of-way is a major contributing factor to accidents in the state. Next up, what is required to be on file with the OMV for a Louisiana ID card holder to potentially waive additional ID requirements for a license? Social Security number, SSN. Having your SSN on file helps confirm your identity and streamlines the license application process. Let's see what's next. In addition to fines and imprisonment, what is a consequence of a felony DWI conviction? Restriction from pursuing certain professional careers. A felony conviction can prohibit you from holding certain professional licenses or jobs, especially those that involve driving. Okay, on to the next one. The minimum age for a Class D license is 17 years. What is the minimum age for a Class E license? Learner's permit. 15 years of age. The learner's permit is the first step in the graduated driver's license process and can be obtained at age 15. Moving forward, if a traffic light has malfunctioned, what type of intersection does it become? A 4-way stop intersection. When a signal is out, treat the intersection as if there are stop signs on all sides. Next question. When should you return to the roadway after the car is parked? You must yield to vehicles already on the main road. Before pulling back into traffic, you must ensure you are not cutting off or forcing another vehicle to adjust its speed or direction. All right, here's the next one. What is the maximum total fee for a 4-year Class D license for a driver under 70, including the 8-tonneau handling fee and maximum 3.0 service fee? $39.5. The total fee is the base fee plus the handling fee and the maximum service fee. Let's check the final question. What type of document is a certified copy of a court order authorizing a name change? A valid document to change your name on a license. Court orders are official legal documents that the OMV accepts as primary proof of a legal name change. And that's a wrap on our Louisiana Chauffeur license practice test review. Good luck with your exam. Hello.